Today I'm going to be talking about vaccine formulations, specifically active and inactive vaccines. When we're thinking of active vaccines are typically vaccines with live pathogens within them. Specifically for live attenuated vaccines, these are vaccines that are weakened. They contain weakened pathogens, but they are still enough to replicate within your body. The reason that we like these vaccines is because we can take the antigens from these vaccines and we can use them so our body will produce specific antibodies for those antigens without causing disease. So these vaccines won't cause disease within your body. The main drawback though, I know this is kind of contradicting what I just said. The main drawback with these vaccines though is that they can pose a risk to immunocompromised individuals. So really you should just be a healthy individual if you are taking these live attenuated vaccines. Otherwise they can cause problems. The other kind of main drawback is that there's also opportunity, though it's very rare now just because of how much research and how much we've progressed with this, but there is opportunity where this vaccine can mutate into a more harmful pathogen which would cause disease. So there are a couple drawbacks to this. Next kind of active vaccine are vector vaccines. Vector vaccines are considered live because they contain a viral vector. These don't usually carry the pathogen themselves. They usually just carry a gene from a pathogen within the vector. Typically that gene is a gene that codes for the pathogen's antibodies. So these are completely harmless, right? They deliver genes into your body, which have the usually the antigenic gene. Therefore, your body will respond to it by producing antibodies. So next time you get infected, your body will already be prepared with said antibodies. Most notably, the most popular example of this would probably be the COVID-19 Johnson & Johnson vaccine. They use something called an adenovirus. So same concept. They took a gene from COVID-19, put it inside of the vector. They came up with a vaccine through it. Now we have a vaccine for COVID. So that was active vaccines. Now inactivated vaccines are the opposite. So these contained killed or just dead pathogens, meaning that they cannot and will not replicate within your body. The main drawback of these vaccines is that they typically require boosters, but they are completely safe for immunocompromised individuals. So they have some benefits, they have some drawbacks. Now there are kind of two branch or subcategories of these inactivated vaccines. So there are whole agent vaccines. So whole agent vaccines contain the entire dead pathogen within the vaccine. So then the next kind of subcategory, these usually just contain parts of a pathogen. Subunit vaccines are vaccines that contain just a specific part of a pathogen. Typically these are antigens, so purified antigens. Next kind of vaccine would be toxoid vaccines. Now toxoid vaccines are vaccines that contain toxins from a bacteria. Because viruses do not produce toxins, these vaccines are specific for bacteria. Next vaccine would be conjugate vaccines. So conjugate vaccines are vaccines that contain some sort of weak antigen. Usually it's a sugar capsule, so a polysaccharide capsule within bacteria. And then you would combine that with a protein that we would provide, a protein that would enhance your body's immune response to this. So typically if you just have this polysaccharide protein sugar capsule, this would induce a very weak immune response for your body, but we combine that with a protein that would provide a strong, intense immune response. Essentially conjugate would mean link. So we have our protein plus the weak antigen. We combine that, we conjugate them. That would equal a conjugate vaccine. Last but not least, we have mRNA vaccines. So mRNA vaccines are on pause currently, but essentially mRNA vaccines contain mRNA that will go into your body and essentially go to your ribosomes. They would produce viral proteins that your body would then produce antibodies for. But yeah, essentially this mRNA from the vaccine will go into your ribosomes, produce viral proteins in which your body will respond to by producing antibodies. So next time you get infected, because those viral proteins have already been produced within your body will have the correct immune defense against it. So that's just a quick overview of the difference between active and inactivated viruses. I went over some of the benefits and drawbacks, so hopefully this was helpful.